everyone! In our last video we learned about packages, how to organize related classes into folders. Today we are going to learn about access modifiers in Java. Access modifiers. The keywords that controls who can see and access your classes, methods and variables. So we can say access modifiers are keywords that determine the visibility and access level of a class, method, or variable. So access modifiers are keywords that determine the visibility and access level of a class, method, or variable. Think of them like security levels in a building. Some areas are open to everyone, like the lobby. Anyone can walk in. Some areas are restricted to employees, like the office floor. Only people who work there can enter. Some areas are restricted to management, like the executive floor. Only managers and above can access it. And some areas are completely private, like the CEO's office. Only one specific person can enter. So access modifiers work exactly the same way. They can define who is allowed to access each part of your code. Java has 4 access modifiers and their visibility decreases in this order. Let me write them. Public, and after that is protected, and after that it's default modifier, and the last one is private one. Let's create a class to demonstrate all 4. First, I create a folder. Or a package. I name the package something like folder G. Inside this package, I create a class named C. I make it simple. So inside this class, I create a few variables. For example, int diff equal 5. It is the default access modifier. Then I write int or protected. Let me write the access modifier now. Protected and prot. I just write the first part of the word to make it shorter. Prot, for example, 6, and it is protected access modifier, right? And then we have public and pub equals 7. It is public. And the last one, private one. And for example, pvt equal 8 and semicolon. It is private access modifier. So the public, let's start from the public according to our order. The public modifier means this variable is visible to everyone, everywhere. Any class in any package can access it. For example, pub equals 7 can be accessed from anywhere, like same class, same package, different package, subclasses, there is no restrictions and whatsoever. So this variable is accessible from anywhere to anywhere. Same class, same package, different package, subclasses, and so on. And protected one, protected access modifier, means this variable is visible to all classes in the same package, subclasses in different packages, even if they are outside the package. For example, this variable prot equal to 6 can be accessed from the same package. And from subclasses in other package. Don't feel confused, we will practice it in a practical way with real examples. So the prod equals 6 is accessible from same package and from subclasses or child classes in other package. Now let's go for the next one, the default access modifier. When you do not write any access modifier, Java automatically applies the default access modifier. And the default modifier means this variable is visible only to classes in the same package. Nobody outside the package can see it, not even subclasses in other packages. So diff equal 5 can only be accessed from within the same package. And the last one, which is the private access modifier. So the private access modifier is the most restrictive, which means this variable is visible only within the same class. Nobody else can access it, not other classes in the same package, not even subclasses or child classes. So this variable pvt equal 8 can only be accessed inside class C itself. Let me write the word only as well. It can be accessed only inside class C itself. As I promised, now let's see this in action with two packages. Which one is folder 1? Let me create another package named folder 1. Oh, that one was folder 2 and this one folder 1. Oops. I think I didn't write folder 1 just to make it more readable. There is not anything wrong to name a package whatever you like. Just to make our explanation a little bit more readable and clear, so I choose to write names which you can relate. Folder 1. So inside folder 1, I'm gonna create another class. Wait a moment. I create a class named A. Inside class A, I'm gonna write at the beginning. I'm gonna import, I'm sure now you're familiar with this concept, import folder 2 dot class C, right? That was the way that you were importing a package. Main method, inside main method I create an object C, obj, I name it obj equal new, see the object. Now I want to access different variables which are inside package 2, package folder 2, and they have different access modifier. We have 4 variables with 4 different access modifier: default, protected, public, and private. And I want to call each one separately. Let's go with the first one, which is a public. Let me write the reference variable obj.pop. Right? Let's go back up. So let's go back to class C. We see in folder 2 a different folder. We have class C. Inside it we have a variable named pop equals 7 and its access modifier is public. Let me run the program, see if I can access this variable inside a different package and a different class. Yes, it works. Public is visible everywhere. Now let's go for the next variable, which is the object. obj.protected. The next variable was prot, right? As you can already see, there is a red line and it shows that there is an error because protected not visible to none subclass in different packages. None or child. I'm sorry, which is not the child or does not inherit. So not visible to none subclasses in a different package. Now let's go for another variable, obj, the default one, right? If again we see there is an error because default one is not visible outside the package too. Not visible outside the package. Now let's go for the last variable, which was protected one, obj.pvt. Same. There is an error, private not visible anywhere outside the class. Not visible outside the class. So, only pub or public is accessible from a completely different non-related class in a different package. Now let's create this class, a child class of ruler1. Now let's say A extends class C, right? Okay, now as class A extends class C, let's create an object for class A. And now we can see automatically obj.prot or protected is working. Let me just comment this part. Now if I run, we can see that we have values for two variables 7 and 6, which belongs to protected and to public one. So here please notice that the child class A can access Pro because it is a subclass of C, even though it is in a different package, but it is still cannot access PVT because this one is private and it cannot be visible outside the own class, not even the subclasses or the child classes. And that is the access modifiers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe the video and the channel so you never miss the next video. See you in the next one.